They promised that more range was everything. They repeated it so often it became hard to question it. But the 2026 Tesla Model 2 arrived precisely to challenge that mantra. With just 249 miles of range, it might go unnoticed in a conversation about electric vehicles until you understand what that really means. The focus now is no longer how many miles you can travel, but how long it takes to get back on the road. And this is where the rules change. While the market is betting on giant batteries and frustrating recharge times, Tesla has decided to shorten the path with an almost counterintuitive proposition. Less range, much more efficiency. This shift in logic isn't just bold, it's extremely practical. Recharging the Model 2 under ideal conditions takes just 3 minutes to add 93 miles. That's right, less time than a quick trip to the grocery store. It's as if the concept of range no longer matters, because the need to worry about it practically disappears. It's not about going further on a single charge, it's about getting back on the road so fast you don't even notice you stopped. And this isn't marketing, it's engineering applied to solve a real, everyday problem, without frills or exaggerated promises. Another detail that escapes the most inattentive eye is the price. The figure of US $9,197 has already caused confusion. No, that's not the purchase price of the car. It's the price spent. This is the total savings accumulated over 5 years when comparing the Model 2 to a gasoline-powered car. The number has become a kind of symbol. It encapsulates an entire philosophy. A vehicle that pays for its own existence through economy and simplicity. And this begins to challenge the entire traditional narrative of affordable car with sacrifices. But this car didn't arrive with fireworks. It doesn't come with a futuristic sci-fi design, nor with digital panels everywhere like a rocket cockpit. Instead, the Model 2 focuses on what works, on what solves problems. It's understated, but every choice was made to reduce everyday friction. A car that understands that ostentation has become noise and that elegance lies in efficiency. This is the quiet revolution unfolding under the industry's nose, and one that has everything it needs to become the new standard of expectation. What's most striking is how the Model 2 delivers this impact without resorting to exaggeration. Tesla didn't increase range to compete with its rivals. Instead, it reduced waiting time, something no one was trying to solve so simply. It's a move that forces consumers to rethink. Do I really need 400 miles of range if I can charge almost 100 in 3 minutes? The concept of enough changes completely when the weight is no longer an issue. And then, the game changes. Then there's the psychological factor. When drivers realize a recharge can happen in the time it takes to grab a coffee, their entire relationship with the vehicle transforms. There's no longer that typical street car anxiety, that sweat-soaked mileage countdown. The experience becomes effortless, almost imperceptible. It's as if the car is always ready, like a smartphone always at hand. And this changes not only the way you drive, but also how you plan your day. The impact of this proposal is so great that the conversation about cheap cars also needs to be rethought, because cheap here doesn't mean sacrificing comfort, technology, or performance. It means engineering intelligence, well-applied simplicity, and a surgical reduction in excess. It's not a car to impress in the parking lot, but to make sense at the end of the month, and every day before that. This is the kind of revolution that doesn't make noise, but changes everything with small, well-calculated gestures. The secret behind this paradigm shift lies in the battery architecture. Most electric vehicles still use a large block of interconnected cells where energy enters through a single channel. This seems logical, but this traditional model has a chronic problem. It's only as fast as its slowest part. When current flows, a single hotspot, a cell heated beyond its ideal temperature, is enough to slow the entire system down. This creates the infamous taper phase, that annoying drop in charging speed that turns promises of minutes into coffee and newspaper waits. Tesla's solution with the Model 2 was striking in its simplicity: divide and conquer. Instead of a single battery, the car features two independent halves, each with its own sensors, circuitry, and temperature control. This means the system can charge both parts simultaneously, without one interfering with the other. And the direct result is something that completely breaks current limits, charging twice as fast without overheating, without compromising safety, and without requiring a new generation of absurdly expensive chargers. This architecture reduces electrical resistance, the silent villain that limits charging speed. When current must travel through a single, overloaded path, heat is inevitable. But when this current is split into two parallel flows, electrical friction drops dramatically, and less heat means less battery wear over time. In internal tests, Tesla observed a reduction of up to 27% in heat generation during high-speed charging. This isn't just a technical advancement, it's a difference that directly impacts the car's lifespan. Another impressive feature is the fine-grained control this structure allows. With two independent blocks, voltage management becomes more precise. This avoids extremes, both spikes and dangerous drops, and keeps the battery within the so-called ideal zone for longer. This not only preserves the system's health, but also prevents the performance drop common after months of intensive use. For the driver, this stability translates into predictability. And predictability, when it comes to range and charging, is worth its weight in gold. The fluidity of this system also eliminates the need for complex solutions like 800 or 900-volt platforms, which are being adopted by other manufacturers. These technologies, while promising, require profound changes to the charging infrastructure. The Model 2, with its dual-cell system, achieves similar or better results using existing fast chargers, without requiring new investments from stations or consumers. It's a pragmatic solution that avoids unnecessary complications. The user experience is completely transformed. Instead of scheduling long stops, drivers can make short, strategic recharges, effortlessly fitting them into their routine. Stopped for snacks, gained 90 miles. Stopped at a pharmacy, battery practically full. Recharging time is no longer a planned event and becomes as automatic as turning on the Wi-Fi. And this feeling of constant autonomy changes the perception of freedom behind the wheel. Even with so many technical changes, perhaps the most remarkable thing is how seamlessly it all integrated. There are no flashing lights, blaring alerts, or complex dashboards. The magic happens silently, in the car's core, without demanding the driver's attention. This is what separates a technological innovation from a useful one. And the Model 2 delivers this discretion masterfully. The Model 2's mission goes beyond battery life or recharge time. It infiltrates everyday life with a nearly invisible philosophy, solving real problems before the driver even realizes they exist. This car doesn't want to impress. It wants to make things easier. A subtle but transformative example is the complete abandonment of physical keys. No more key fobs, cards, or remotes. Everything has been replaced by direct integration with the owner's smartphone. It seems simple, but it changes the way people interact with the vehicle on a daily basis, removing steps that were previously considered inevitable. The system uses Bluetooth Low Energy 5.0, a lightweight, low-latency technology with cutting-edge encryption. It recognizes the device's proximity to within 10 meters and authenticates access in less than 1.2 seconds. It's so automatic that the driver doesn't even need to take their phone out of their pocket. The car identifies, confirms, and grants access as if it were waiting for you. And more than convenience, this represents security. The digital key uses 128-bit AES encryption with rolling code verification, which hinders interception attacks, a growing problem with traditional remote access systems. This seemingly small change represents hours saved throughout the year. According to the Tesla Owners Club, It saves 5 to 7 minutes per week just unlocking. Multiplying that, you get over 6 hours per year that simply disappear from the process. It's a time saving that happens so discreetly that many people only notice it when they return to using a conventional car and experience the previously invisible inconvenience. This shows how the Model 2 doesn't seek innovation for aesthetics, but rather for practical functionality. This philosophy is echoed in the car's internal monitoring system. The car is equipped with over 100 sensors and 45 control units spread throughout its structure. It monitors the engine temperature, the individual status of each battery cell, the health of the braking system, and even the quality of the suspension in real time. All this data is analyzed by artificial intelligence and sent to the cloud via 5G or LTE, averaging 9 to 18 gigabytes per year. It seems like a lot, but every byte serves a purpose: to predict failure before it breaks down. This predictive reading allows for precise action. For example, a 2 to 3% drop in battery efficiency, something that would go unnoticed in any other vehicle, is quickly detected. The system understands that there may be an imbalance in a cell and corrects it with a simple adjustment to the charging profile. The same logic applies to temperature. If one of the motors heats up 5 degrees Celsius above average, the car automatically adjusts torque or activates cooling, all without human intervention. This extends component life and reduces the chance of sudden breakdowns. The practical result of all this is a significant reduction in serious breakdowns. Internal estimates indicate that this predictive maintenance system reduces major mechanical problems by up to 30%. And the impact on drivers' pockets is also considerable: $400 to $700 in annual savings, simply by preventing failures that never even occurred. There's no magic, just constant, discreet, and intelligent vigilance. And even with so much data being transmitted, privacy isn't overlooked. All communication is encrypted, both in transit and at rest, and the user can view alerts and logs through the app. This reinforces the idea of a partnership between car and driver. It's not a system that controls, but rather one that cares, as if the vehicle were constantly attentive, mapping small signals and making micro-adjustments to ensure everything works as it should at all times. It's curious how even the luggage compartments have become part of this meticulous engineering. The Model 2 features a frunk, that front trunk, that goes far beyond the basics. It's not just extra space. It's thermally insulated with a 25 mm layer of polyurethane that reduces heat transfer by about 80% compared to a simple 1 mm steel plate. In practice, this means that even in 30-degree sunlight, the frunk's interior can stay below 15 degrees for over 2 hours without relying on active cooling systems. It's almost like having a built-in cooler in the car. At the rear, the trunk follows the same practical logic. The panels are modular, reinforced, and support up to 150 kg without warping. This structure allows for quick reconfigurations to accommodate larger loads, without the need for additional accessories. A quick-release mechanism allows you to modify the compartment layout in less than 45 seconds. It seems like a small detail, but anyone who's tried to load a large box into a poorly designed car knows how much of a difference it can make. Inside the cabin, the attention to detail continues, but with the same discretion. The wireless charger for smartphones, for example, uses Qi 2.0 technology with an extended power profile. It delivers 15 watts per device, delivering up to 87% efficiency even at a distance of 4 mm between the base and the phone. And the system was designed for 2 devices simultaneously, maintaining stable performance without excessive heating. All heat dissipation occurs through a textured polycarbonate surface capable of withstanding up to 80 degrees, ensuring safety even in extreme climates. Beneath the panel, there's more than meets the eye. A ferrite shielding layer protects electronic systems from electromagnetic interference, while induction coils aligned with object detection sensors ensure only compatible devices are charged. Furthermore, active thermal regulation prevents performance degradation with prolonged use. These details help extend the lifespan of accessories by up to 2 or 3 years, in addition to reducing cable wear by over 60% in the first year of use. This kind of care also extends to the finishes. The choice of materials is less about aesthetics and more about durability. Heat, friction, and stain-resistant surfaces make the Model 2's interior more prepared for real-world use, far from the showroom floor. These engineered fabrics and plastics withstand intense use without showing premature aging, reinforcing the idea that this car isn't built to impress in the showroom, but to survive everyday life without losing its elegance. Another interesting point is the nearly invisible integration of useful components, such as bag hooks in the trunk or hidden storage compartments under the floor. Everything was designed to eliminate small frustrations that most drivers no longer notice, but which, when combined, affect the experience. Tesla decided to eliminate these issues with simple yet extremely effective solutions, as if the car had been assembled by someone who truly hates mess and improvisation. The curious thing is that even with so many features, the car never feels overstuffed. Nothing screams innovation. On the contrary, most of the solutions are invisible until they become useful. This creates a sense of fluidity, where the driver feels that everything is in its right place, that nothing was added just to fill space or appear modern. The result is an experience that goes unnoticed in the best possible sense, because everything simply works, without drawing attention to itself. Safety is one of those topics that almost everyone only truly appreciates when something goes wrong. But the Model 2 doesn't wait for trouble to happen. It's always on the lookout. This vigilance begins with a set of 8 external cameras, all with 1280x 960 pixel resolution and a 150-degree field of view. They work in conjunction with ultrasonic sensors that detect movement up to 8 meters away. And all of this is always active, even when the car is parked in a garage or supermarket parking lot. The system, called Sentry Mode, transforms the vehicle into a veritable digital bodyguard, always alert. These cameras operate at 30 frames per second and save the events to a 256 GB flash drive installed in the car itself. The videos are compressed in H.265, allowing for approximately 12 hours of recording from all cameras simultaneously. But the most interesting thing is that the Model 2 doesn't record everything all the time. It only records the relevant moments. When motion is detected, a small 5 MB preview is immediately sent to Tesla's cloud within 5 seconds. This requires a connection of just 8 megabits per second, something easily achieved with a standard 4G or 5G network. All data transmission is encrypted in transit and at rest. This means that even if someone tried to intercept the video, they wouldn't be able to do anything with it. Furthermore, the system doesn't send alerts for every little thing. Before an event is recorded, the detected movement undergoes an optical flow analysis filtered by size and speed. Only then does a neural network determine whether it's a person, a car, or simply a false alarm.